It's God's the beat maker.
And I don't know. I will put a light in the sky for the G's that done turn memory from go. Blessings we send to the ghetto youth, them where I take the tick.
Yo, what's up, guys? You know it's your favorite everything JR, and today I'm coming at you guys with another story time. As usual, haven't done one in a while, but this one is a doozy. As I always said, guys, if you guys haven't seen any of my story time videos, my life's like a movie. I'm not saying I'm the only person that goes through crazy stuff, but I've gone through some crazy stuff, and this is just one of them. The ups, downs, highs, and lows. And this one is one of when I got ghosted by this Dominican chick. Gorgeous, by the way. Got ghosted, and then sometime later, she asked me for $5,000. She wanted a loan for $5,000. But before I get to that point, we're going to start at the beginning on how I met her. Or whatever. So anyway, I used to work for AT&T once upon a time. I used to bury cable, and I was burying cable at this house one day, fiber optic cable, and I noticed when I knocked on the door, it was a Dominican woman that answered the door. So I was like, hey, I'm about to go bury the cable, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I go in the back, and there's kids playing in the back or whatever. Then somehow, I guess the sister comes out, and my Spanish isn't the best. You guys know I've been to DR a few times, hung out in DR. Whatever. That's my second home, as I like to say. So my Spanish is choppy at best. So I see her walking, I speak to her, so I developed a rapport with the homeowner. So I'm like, hey, who's the young lady right there? She's like, that's my sister. And I was like, tell her I want to take her out on a date. You know what I'm saying? I just did some shit like that. And she was like, okay. So she comes out, and so I'm talking to her. English is broken. My Spanish is fucked up too, so it is what it is at the end of the day. So we're talking, and I get her number, and I'm like, yo, let's go out sometime. She was like, okay, cool, whatever. Super thick, double cheeked up, everything. I'm texting her here and there. So one night, something happened, and I was just like, it was bad weather that night. And I said, let me hit her up and see what she got going on. And she was like, oh, nothing much. I was like, shit, let's go out and get some drinks. So we went out and got some drinks. She showed up. I picked her up from her house. She had her own house that she's renting out, and picked her up, took her there. Then she was like, I want to go to the strip club. And she's built like a stripper, but anyway, she's like, I want to go to the strip club. And I was like, okay, cool. So we went to the strip club, and I remember we was up in there having a good time partying. And I remember that night, the weather was terrible. It was like a tornado going on. It was raining. So we having a good time up in there, and I bring her back to my crib. Incredible night, wonderful night. I take her back to her place in the morning. Everything's cool. So we're chatting, and she's coming over and hanging out. We having a good time. She liked Lambrusco. I like Lambrusco. We going to the beach, hanging out, all these different things. I started dealing with an ex-girlfriend of mine at the time while I'm talking to her, because I was just like, oh, whatever. I didn't really think anything of it. At this point, she was coming over to my house to visit, and what happened was my ex was already coming over that day, and I had discussed with the Dominican girl. I was like, hey, we should hang out. You should come through one of these days, like that. And she was like, okay, cool, whatever. Everything was going well. So I'm talking on the phone with my ex-girl, and while she's on the way over to my house, and I get a text message. And who is it from? It's from the Dominican saying, hey, I'm outside. I just pulled up. I'm like, you just pulled up? What do you mean you just pulled up? So I'm like in my underwear getting ready for my ex to pull up. So I'm like, oh, so I'm on the phone. While I'm saying this, I look outside. Her car is parked in my driveway. Keep in mind, my ex is on the way over right now, like a few minutes out. So I'm just like, oh, shit. What the fuck am I going to do? And I'm like, hey, why didn't you call me? I was like, well, first, before I did that, I was like, hey, let me call you back. This is somebody at the door or whatever like that. So I got off the phone, and I walk outside. I'm like, hey, why didn't you call me to let me know you was coming here? She was like, what are you talking about? I was like, yo, you got to go. I was like, yo, you gotta go, man. She was like, huh? She's just looking confused. I was like, yo, you gotta go. So she's not leaving. It's like she's not understanding what I'm saying. So I get in my car and I go to pull out. And as I'm pulling out, my ex is pulling up. I'm just like, so I roll up to her. I said, hey, she needs directions she can't get out of here or whatever. So I'm trying to get her up out of here or whatever. So I'll be right back. I'm in my underwear, no shirt on, in my car, driving or whatever like that. She leaves, and she's texting me, are you gay? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You kicking me? Basically, because it looked really bad. And my ex was like, what was that? What was going on? She was like, and basically was like, that was another woman. I'm just like, why would I have another woman come here? Common sense. Why would I have another woman come here if I know you're on the way here? It doesn't make any sense. So, which it does. It didn't make any sense. Needless to say, at that point, the Dominican wanted a relationship. I was like playing around or whatever. So I was just trying to make it, because things didn't really work out with the ex. So I was just trying to make things work. But she was just like, nah, you fucked up. You did this. You played too many games. So like that. And I'm just sitting there trying to like take her out. She would let me take her out off and on throughout the year. I maybe did I ever hit that after that? I think I might have hit that ass one time after that. Anyway, she was just like done with it. So I was like, fuck, cold. I would, every now and then I'd shoot her a text. She just wouldn't respond. Then out of the blue, she'll message me, just playing games or whatever. And that's what she said about me. Me and her would shoot a text or every now and then throughout the years. This was years ago or whatever. So then she comes up one time and I get a message from her. Hey, Poppy, what's up? What are you doing? Ain't nothing much. She was like, hey, I need to talk to you in person. I was like, okay. So she ended up buying a store. She ended up starting a store up. She sold like different stuff, Hispanic foods and stuff like that, and a little local store selling candies and food and stuff like that. So anyway, she got behind her taxes or something like that. So she was sending the money to Mexico, the money she was making. Yo, you guys know. Sending the money to Mexico, sending it to DR, but she didn't keep none of the money in her bank accounts here. So she needed $5,000 to pay the county for her store. And she was like, hey, can you loan me $5,000 or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, huh? You just showed up to my house and everything. I'm like, huh? Yeah, I need to borrow $5,000 or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yo, I don't have $5,000 to be loaning you. Like, I can show you how to get it. And she wasn't with all that. She wanted somebody to give her money. And keep in mind, she was all conversing, talking, all this stuff, and open all that. And I'm just like, well, you ghosted me and all this stuff. And now you just go come out of the blue and ask me for $5,000? Like, we cool? I haven't, not that any buns is worth $5,000 anyway, but like, you're not even trying to come in and get on your knees and none of that. And you think that it's not going down like that. It was very strange how that went. So needless to say, I was like, yo, I ain't got nothing for you. So she basically got ghosted again. And I went to text her like after that, and she was just no response. But the fact of the matter is, when you dealing with certain women, bro, sometimes you mess up, sometimes they don't get over it, but they'll still deal with you to try and get certain things out of you. But this situation in particular, it was just crazy. And I'm just like, that's one of the ones that you look back on like, yo, I did fuck that up. It was all in the palm of my hand and it got away, and that's just that. It was terrible. So moral of the story, guys, is when you're trying to do certain things, you'll have something that you've been waiting on. You'll be like, yeah, this is the one, whatever, blah, blah, blah. No issues, ain't out in the streets, none of that. Then all of a sudden you just do some crazy shit and it's just gone. Just completely gone. So bro, that's my story time for the day. The $5,000 never happened. So it is what it is. Women come, what I need you guys to realize, man, don't ever get hung up on one woman. A woman can disappoint you today. A woman can ghost you. You can ask a woman out today. Anything can happen, man. Women are fickle, bro. Women are very fickle. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on Linktree to book a one-on-one with yours truly. Purchase all my books, merch, t-shirts. Helps to support the channel. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. With that being said, much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next video that's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. This is Wisdom. I'm out of here. Peace.
Yeah. 50 Cent. 50. Part 2.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
Can't forget Tony.
50.
UK.